1-3, the police are requesting an ambulance to detail man screaming for one. Inside the Irish Social Club at number 19 Park Street, West Rock Street.
Hello, hello, sinners. I'm back. That's right. We've returned once more. It's been a while, and I apologise deeply for being away from you for so long. But we're back. Indeed, we have returned to the mighty sermon of Yap. Hopefully, everything's working nicely. Oh, there we go. Just checking my voice is going through everything okay. As I am streaming on Twitch and YouTube now, as well as X, or Twitter, I'll call it. I'm in 3 places now. So in case you don't like one of the other 2, you have a 3rd one you can find me on now. On the recently renamed Baron's Ark of Rel live channel. So to my lovely Twitch viewers, please do feel free to give a little wave to anyone on YouTube. As we are going to be... Well, I'm going to be trying to use all 3. Because, frankly, it just seems like a good idea. So, that is what we're going to do. Now, a few little things I did want to do real quick, as, 1 second. I have a little gift for you all. 1 second. I have a little gift I wanted to give. Bit of a pricey gift, but I think you'll all like it quite a bit. There you go. I have sent 10 gifted subs out to the chat. So please enjoy the gifts. 'Tis the season of giving after all. So please enjoy your gift on me. You give me a wonderful year. The least I can do is give a little back. So please enjoy that gifted on the house. Excuse me. I do hope you like it. Can't always do that, but hey, it's the season of giving. That alert's going to come up for a bit. I didn't think this through, did I? Yay. Now, I must confess to the YouTube side, I've not quite got the alerts set up yet. So, please bear with me as I attempt to get that sorted. Yes, 10 of you will have received a lovely little something from me. Just fired at you, so... I think they give a couple other ones. I don't remember if the other thing works exactly. I don't know if, like, you get, like, a bunch of gifted. However it's supposed to work when you gift subs, but there we go. A little something from me to you. It's only for the month, but hey, means you guys don't have to watch ads anymore. Let's see who we got here. Devil, Pig Gaming. Good, nice chunk of you. So yes, please do enjoy that. I was going to do it on Christmas Day, but I thought, you know what, I'll do it when I'm streaming. So a little summit for all of you. And, but yes, we are finally now back. And I intend to keep it that way. Going forward, at least. So, I'll admit, I haven't done a whole lot myself. Not for a bit, anyway. I've been very quiet on my end. I've mostly just been trying to relax, trying to get back to normal, because I'll be completely honest with you, I've not been at my best for a little while. But I'm here now. That's the main thing. I'm here now, and, you know, we're now back at it. Yeah. I admit, my Christmas was a quiet one. I mostly just visited some family, and otherwise just relaxed, honestly. I didn't do anything too crazy, because, well, I just didn't really feel like it, really. I did order some things, but tragically they didn't arrive in time, so little old me got nothing, but it's fine. They'll arrive eventually. Well, hopefully, anyway. Although, I will say, a little sus that G-Dubs only sends... I can't get a bunch of Death Corps through Element Games, but I can direct from G-Dubs. Interesting, I think. A little sus, G-Dubs. A little sus. But, hey. It is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is. So I'll get them eventually. I'll probably paint them up in private, because I've not quite got my setup how I would like it for painting stuff on stream. Otherwise I would. At some point, maybe I'll, I don't know, get like a little head cam or something, wear that while I do it, that'll be better. Or maybe not, I don't know, maybe it's too shaky. I'll figure something out at some point. At some point, we'll figure it out. It's a matter of when, not if. Just when might be a while, but hey. I'll figure something out. Also, I just want to check, I believe, did someone follow Ilya? Didn't quite see. And then I see of gifted, I believe, someone followed 7 days ago. Hang on a second. Lewis H. Sin. Thank you very much for the follow, and apologies if I might have not been live at the time when you did follow, but thank you very much for the follow. Just crack my neck a little bit. And my back. I'm not old, before anyone says anything. I don't think Rouge is in the chat right now, but I ain't old. But yes, so a few little changes I wanted to sort of announce. Now, we're going to be trying this triple setup going forward. The once called Baron's Arc Cabral VOD channel is now the Baron's Arc Cabral live channel. No difference except I will be live streaming on there as well. So that's just a thing going forward in case you like the YouTube experience. Regarding the YouTube side, I will have a look at my alerts. I wanted just to make sure it was technically feasible first. It seems that way, and I keep checking. Keep checking stream health, says excellent. Twitch, I'm in the green there too. And let me have a quick nosy on X. Oh, I keep saying only X. Twitter, just to make sure that's behaving itself properly. It looks like it is, so that's good to see. I'll take myself back into that menu there. So yeah, we're doing all right, which is beautiful, honestly, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, once I've done a few test streams with it, these being the tests, I'll then sort out alerts. I'll probably go back to my alerts guy, and I'll go, hey, can you do a few more for the YouTube side? And we'll get that all nice set up. Hello, Artemis. I saw you were lurking earlier. Yes, a few gifted over there. I forgot you already had a sub. I was like, when's the Artemis list? But, oh yeah, he's already subbed. But yes, I wanted to give a nice big old gifted bunch over Christmas. I thought, hey, why not? A little something for all of you. So, hopefully all those who received do enjoy their sub. No ads for them. Ah, yes you did. Did you just gift some subs to... Hey Devil, I decided I'd gift some subs to the my community, yes. As a nice little, little something. So I gifted 10 subs to anyone who's followed me, which you got a sub or two, so if you ever drop by, yeah, no ads for you. I've freed you from your ad burden if you drop by anytime. I didn't get that. Yes, well, listen, Artemis, not everyone has your loophole. Not everyone has your loophole that you have. Your crazy Slovenian loophole. Excuse me. That reminds me, Devil. I don't... Out of curiosity, how do you feel about 40k as a setting? I only ask because exactly, no ads. I only ask because I'm currently setting up a Dark Heresy game, and I remembered you were interested in the Lancer game Onyx was going to run until he didn't. And I did wonder whether you would be. Forget this. Hey, perfect. I was going to ask you a bit ago, but I wasn't sure what your availability was like. But I figured I'll ask now as you're right here. If you were remotely interested in the idea of a 40k tabletop game. I'll obviously go into way more detail, like, one-to-one at some point. I just wondered, like, if that interested you. I am thinking of live streaming it. It will be in the evenings. It's not quite ready yet, I've got some things I need to do, but, you know, I'll make sure everyone's well aware ahead of time. Let's play 40 games or tabletop, but sounds interesting. No worries, man. Honestly, don't worry. We're all a little rusty, but between my rust and everyone else's rust, and you being new, I'm sure we can figure it out. I remember most of the stuff, so don't you worry. Don't worry, I'm a gentle DM. I'm a very gentle DM. Just don't ask anyone who's normally my players. You don't ask them, I'm a gentle DM. It's like hardcore and gritty that your character will probably die, or is it like Deanna Lance where your character is a special hero? So it's a little bit in between, right? You have a safety net. You've got like points you can spend on certain abilities to make your rolls better, or you can burn a point to save your life from like a lethal hit. You can do that a couple times. So you do have like a last minute lifeline. And the way damage kind of works is like you have armor and toughness that reduces the incoming damage. So you can actually tank some pretty nasty hits. Yeah, actually they're called hero points, actually, I think. I think they actually are called hero points or faith point. I can't remember that. They're called something like that. But yeah, basically, you can use them for certain things as well. Like, let's say your character's a medic. There's a particular like profession that's like a medic essentially, and you can use you can spend the points to be better at medicine, and you get those points back at the start of every session. I think so. I'll have to double check. Oh no, fate points. Sorry, not hero points. They're called fate points, but same gist. You've got the exact. You understand the same gist. And Dark Heresy works on a D100 system, so you have to roll under your number. So if you've got like a 38 in shooting, you roll under that. Yeah, so and there's obviously loads of stuff to make you better at it, or certain circumstance stuff that can make you better. And I'm allowing all the Dark Heresy 2e material, so you'll have like the full range. Again, we can go over this. I just thought. I remember I was thinking, I can maybe do one more person, just in case someone doesn't join, or so I can get 4. And I figured, I remembered you were interested in Lancer, and I thought, I did ask Onyx how you felt about it, and he said he might like it, I don't know. This is 40k, but I'm never going to say no to doing fantasy in the future. I have ran a game of fantasy. It was quite fun, but I think really overdid it with the mutation table. But yeah, but as I say, if you're interested, feel free to let me know, because, as I say, it'll probably be like later on, probably like March time next year when I look to run it. As I say, I've got to get a couple of things sorted out, but I'll do a session 0 way ahead. So initially, the theme, if you will, is initially you will be essentially working on a space station. Hell yeah. That's it, man. So the general vibe is you're on a space station, and you're kind of either part of or assisting salvage operations after a recent incursion. A Chaos fleet attacked. Pretty militarized one. And essentially, you and a few other groups have been sent in to just take whatever ships that can be recovered and blow up any ones that are corrupted, basically. And you and a bunch of others get specially selected to go onto a ship that's just entered real space from the warp moments ago, out of nowhere. It is not relaying comms, it looks dead, but it warped in. The ship is called the Cronus Nox, and essentially, you and the group have been sent in to that lovely ship, filled with all kinds of goodies and probably horrors, definitely horrors. And that is the introductory act, if you will, for you guys will be doing. But Dark Heresy quite often, it does lean towards investigations and stuff, but I'm doing the first act as a little more mystery and action, because I want to give a nice little jump in for everyone. But, like, later acts may be a little bit more covert. You may have to infiltrate somewhere, spy a bit, you know. I see. So the characters, humans, though you can play a Psyker, so you can be a space wizard basically. You can also play what's called a blank, where you're like an anti-Psyker. Like, warp magic doesn't affect you at all, but you're like emotionally dead a bit inside. So those are both options. Psykers have like a whole range of powers. Things can also go very, very fucking wrong with Psykers, by the way. But yeah, you can be a Psyker. Essentially, the only limitation is, why is your character on the space station? It'd be funny if we also had a there is a page about that. You kind of have to be careful of that, right? Because the problem with a blank, they fuck with your powers immensely. Let me put it this way, there's a talent blanks can get, which lowers your psi rating. Now you might ask me, but Cobra, what if my psi rating is 1? They can lower it to 0 and neutralize your powers. They're also just painful to be around, normally, but for a Psyker, it's hell. It's literal hell on earth to be around one. So, you can definitely do it, but they need to be the hell away from you. I think Onyx is looking at playing someone with medical knowledge, and I definitely... We'll discuss this all in Session 0, of course, but definitely someone with a bit of medical knowledge will help. Now, Ogryns aren't playable. However, you never know, I might, in the future, make a playable Ogryn, but you can be a mutant. That is an option. And the right mutations might make you like an Ogryn, but you can't directly play an Ogryn or a Ratling or anything like that. However, in the lore, there have been Ogryn Psykers, and they're fucking powerful. Real overpowered, if anything. Dark Heresy is a little older, so there won't be any references to some modern 40k lore, so if you don't hear any references to Guilliman or Primaris Marines, that is because the book was written a while back. But you might have a mutant that's basically mutates to be the battle size of an Ogryn. And some of the gear you can get is pretty cool. You can get, like, even alien weaponry, by the way. Yeah, I mean, there are other 40k tabletop stuff that do exist. Pseudo-Ogryn Psyker. I mean, you could be a mutant Psyker. That is completely possible. Your reason for being there may very well be they're just trying to kill you at this point, but hey. Let's just say your future employer might not mind your mutant status. In fact, they may make use of your mutated talents. The only thing you've got to watch with mutants is how... I think they can gain corruption, and too much... There's a few ways you can die in Dark Heresy, basically. You can die because of a critical injury and running out of fate points. You just send me away like a bomb. On it, legitimately, if someone suddenly manifests psychic powers on the battlefield, a commissar has to sit there and genuinely weigh up, do I just shoot him now, or do I send him at the enemy and let him detonate like a bomb? Because there's a very real chance an untrained Psyker just goes bang. The problem is they might go bang and open up a warp portal and demons might pour out of their entrails. That has happened a lot. Entire planets have been invaded by demons because one Psyker went bang. It's why they're considered so dangerous. There are actually warp-based predators that hunt Psykers, and if you're untrained, you don't know how to hide from them. Like, imagine a literal hellhound rips through the Imperium, just rips into reality to come and kill you because you're a psyker. Like, that shit can happen. So, but you can be an unsanctioned psyker. That is completely a thing you can be. You basically either take the Psyker Elite Advance, or you take the Mystic role. Roles are kind of like your class. You've got like, you essentially have a planet, your background, and a class. And the Mystic's the Psyker, the group. And they get loads of like attributes that help them get abilities for being a Psyker, basically. If you take that and the Astra Telepathica Origin, you can be a sanctioned Psyker, and you start at Psi rating 2 instead. Normally, as a non-sanctioned Psyker, you're a Psi rating 1 Psyker, which means you can still do powers, but your power's a bit weaker. Your rating's like how potent of a Psyker you are, basically. But you can spend XP to up it. I think it's like 300 times your current level, essentially. So you can up it. Again, don't worry about remembering any of this now. I'm just mentioning this as just a thing, but I will go over all of this later on. Fair enough, sanctions do get a few bonuses to not go bang. You can also, if you want to push it all the way, you can also be an astropath. That is a further elite advance you can take. You have to be a sanctioned psyker, but... Ooh, how many mutations can you have? Let me think. Wings is definitely one of them. I think you can get shit like unnatural attributes, so like, you have a natural strength or toughness, so you're way stronger than you should be. I think you can get like... You can actually be a psyker. That is actually a mutation you can get. You can actually, if you roll well, you might just become a psyker. But it hurts to use your psychic powers. You've got to roll for the mutations, but you can just get like strange limbs. I think there's a whole list. There's a massive table of them. Oh yeah, Hella Heresy. You have to hide the mutations, but yeah. I mean, you can do some shit, man. There's a lot of stuff. You can go down the tech priest route and be a like hardcore tech priest of all kinds of mechanical tentacles and shit. You can be so many. There's a lot of shit. And again, psychic powers. You've got multiple different psychic disciplines. You can do shit like, you know, the smite power. They shoot lightning from their fingertips. That's a thing they can do. You can get stuff like mind reading, mind control, turn invisible. There's one specifically for channeling demonic shit or anti-demon stuff as well. So you can be like an anti-demon psyker or a demonic psyker, though, you know, let me know if that is the thing you want beforehand, because there are detriments to going down the demonic side. Mainly whether your soon-to-be employer might just blow your brains out if you do it too much. But you can actually summon demons. There are rules for that. But it's, you know, it's going to corrupt you. As ridiculous as it sounds, if things really got that way, there are actually rules for turning someone into a demon host. And have, you know, like the demon host from Darktide? You can make those. The Inquisition sometimes actually have them. It's fucking dodgy as shit. And most Inquisitors do not like you doing that. But you can do it. You absolutely can do it. It's as ridiculous as that sounds. As I say, there's a lot. It's there's not too many books. There's 3 books that I'm using. There might be a 4th one, but there's a site as well of all the stuff on. As I say, I'll make sure to share all the resources and go over stuff nice and slow. But yeah, don't you worry about that, man. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you're interested, which is good. I don't know if you're in my Discord, Devil. I think it may have just popped up then, but I'm gonna be running it from there. I'll make like a new channel for it, and we'll do it all from there. As I say, I'm hoping to have like a session 0. I've got like a penciled in start. So I want to have that session 0 done, like for February, I think, like mid-February, something like that. But again, it can change, it can move. But yeah, as I say, I'll go over all this in session 0 because I don't want to like. Yeah, no worries, man. No problem at all. And cheers for that. Very kind of you, sir. But yeah, as I say, I'll make sure everyone's all well informed before I go ahead and do that stuff. Since, it's going to be a lot of going over rules, remembering stuff. If I find any of like the cheat sheet stuff where it's like how many actions you get per turn, that kind of thing, I'll make sure to get all those ready, all that sort of stuff. I'll be doing it through Roll20, so it keeps it nice and simple. And the Roll20, thankfully, is kind of good, to be honest. It's not a bad little Roll20. I'll say I'll keep a chart of all like the various tables and things. There's a few tables for different things, but when they become relevant, then we'll cross that bridge. But I'll go over everything again for my own sake as well, because it's been a while since I've been a player of it. I've never ran Dark Heresy, but I've played a few campaigns of Dark Heresy. It's alright, I don't like how low the storage is though. Oh, for Roll20. Yeah, I have a paid subscription for it, so it's a bit better. But I know what you mean. It's not ideal if you're not willing to, like, if you don't want to put money. Which, to be fair, unless you're using it a lot, it's not worth it. It's definitely quite low storage for what you get. Like, it's nothing crazy. But, hey. It'll do for what I need it to do. There is, interestingly, there's a successor to Dark Heresy that came out recently called Imperium Maledictum. It's a bit newer, I've not looked at it as much, but I may look into that down the line, but I'm familiar with Dark Heresy. The one thing I will say is you don't heal very quickly. Yeah, maybe... Wait, made you buy Foundry? Oof. God damn. That is a bit yikers. Yeah, I've not used... So, Maledictum, made by a different company, and it's very similar to Dark Heresy, but it's like... It's like, there's a few differences. So, Dark Heresy has a thing called attributes, and attributes give you discounts for certain skills and talents, but don't for others. So it kind of, your attributes kind of pigeonhole you a little bit into your build. Maledictum doesn't have that, so that's a big change. But it uses a lot of the similar kind of skills and tests and things. And it's got a lot of similar, like, you can be a blank, you can be a psyker, but it's a bit more up to date, I think. It's got a few more, like, other things you can do. But I've not used that one myself, so I can't... It looks good, but I can't say for certain. Hey, Judas, buddy. How you doing? Oh. So right, I just you've joined Judas. I'm just recruiting players for my Dark Heresy game. Hungry this time instead of sleepy. Ah, my God, there's a change. The EP is gone and replaced with hungry. Let's see. Dear God, have you considered teleporting yourself more bread? Lots of bread teleportation. Breadportation, if you will. That's too much work. Shit. I mean, there's a small chance it becomes a horrific monster because you teleport too much bread. Just hydrate myself a smidge. Yeah, I'm just, how's the stream quality, by the way? I just want to check. It looks okay on my end, but I just want to check it's all good on you guys. Because I'm streaming in a few places now, so it's all a bit... Ooh. I've been DMing 5 afterwards. I've been DMing for a new... I've been DMing a 5e for a new group, and some of them already is triple cursed. Oh shit. That works all good. Excellent. Ah, okay, so, wait. You already triple cursed. How cursed we talking, Devil? Hey, Vinyl. Welcome, buddy. How you doing? Anyway, just saying hello to the rest of your stream, playing DVDs first. No worries, man. Thank you for dropping in. Have a good game. Trying to get caught. Very cursed. It was middling, I'll be honest. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it wasn't terrible. Saw a few people, said hello. Most just had a good drink and a good bit to eat, but otherwise I won't say like I did much, I'll be honest. It was a quiet day for me, I'll be honest, but you know, it is what it is. I kind of needed a quiet day, so. How's yours? Hopefully yours is more exciting than mine. Also, Devil, when you say cursed, as in, like, just they're rolling terribly, or, like, have they made some, like, really horrific builds? I've heard of some terrifying ones. I've heard of some utterly terrifying builds. Some crosses of classes that should never be crossed. Like an actual oh, like vampire. Oh, fuck. Jesus. That was fine. I got some presents. New GPU. Ooh, new GPU. Very nice. Honestly, an updated GPU does. You notice it. You notice it, don't you? Like, I know when I updated mine, God, it felt so much better to try and stream stuff. Oh, God. I'm curious what kind of GPU. Also, Devil, what do you mean vampirism? How have they already got vampirism? Like, holy shit, man! I thought I was a ruthless DM at times. My man, what are you doing to him? What are you doing to him? I thought I was a ruthless DM sometimes, which I am. But I mean, I'm a gentle DM. What am I on about? Long story. I see. Plays Curse of Strahd. You find Strahd. I'ma find him. It's fine that they like it. Nice. Nice. Oh. Fucking hell. Oh, it's a small curse of vampirism. Welcome to D&D. Now you're a bloodsucker. Get sucking. That sounds wrong. Wait a minute. Phrasing. Wait a minute. It sounded a smidge unholy. Copy Stratford, maybe. I mean, hey, he's a good BBG. To be fair, you know, a vampire has a lot of options. They do indeed. I did use one in a way, one of my past ones. Like, they're a classic, and they got flavour. You can really flavour a good vamp. You know. They can be a bit of a magical motherfucker, they can be an absolute powerhouse, they can be somewhere in between. And they're a humanoid enemy, so they have motivations and shit. Beyond just kill and steal. So, it's a good choice. It's a damn good choice. I've roughly got an idea my upcoming campaign what I want as a big bad, but I'm keeping that to myself. I usually prefer monsters to humanoid GMs, but this time I said fair. Ooh, Illithids are a good choice, to be fair. I mean, speaking of complex motivations, I mean, Illithids, you got options of them. I mean, the brain-sucking squids, well, they're a complex thing. Very intelligent. So, sure, sometimes they'll have a similar kind of agenda, but, you know, they're all literal geniuses, so you've got beyond options there. Plus, you know, what particularly motivates them can be very strange. They're from the Far Realm, so yeah, you got plenty of options. And again, it's another one where it's a very intelligent creature, so you got just angles, and you can. I always kind of like a creature that gives me a justification to do funny stuff. Oh yeah, the Far Realm just makes all the fun stuff, genuinely. Like, today I'm feeling a bit Lovecraftian. I mean, oh yeah, I agree with you there. Aberrations are fun. Like, they're so weird and different. I had a thing in one of my past settings where the city they were in had electricity powered by a captured aberration, and so every battery had to be handled with deep care, because if they ever malfunctioned, the whole building has been locked down because an aberration would crawl out of the battery. Like, it's like Eldritch Anglerfish, motherfucker. It was a pretty cool idea, honestly. I do like it. I do love just mixing in something utterly horrifying. Like, the best thing is, as well, is ever since that event, for the rest of that campaign, the whole group was just utterly terrified of what happens if the lights go funny. It's like, well, who knows? That Streetlight's battery could be having a moment. And the creature that they had to deal with, I don't think they managed to kill it. I think they literally had to wait until reality restabilized and pulled it back from whence it came. I made it dangerous enough. And, well, it didn't kill anyone, but it nearly did. Certainly changed that encounter a bit. That was purely... I remember... Oh, no, that was it. One of them took out the battery to take out the lights for the factory they were in. And oh boy. Oh boy. This was D&D, this was, but oh, fucking hell. The entire factory just went black, and just a horrifying monster started prowling around the place. With a light coming off of it, no. Chef's kiss. It was... I had a lot of fun with that one. It's like, I finally managed to find something horrifying enough. The horrifying thing was they couldn't just deal the problem by killing it, either. Because it was too dangerous. So it was a case of, get the fuck out of there. And also, I think a couple of NPCs were used as bait. Which... yeah. RIP them, guys. But no, I do love a good aberration use. There's just... I don't know. You got options. Oh, the False Hydra. Yes, I do like those. I agree with you there. With my Megamo. I mean, they're just such a... Like, you have so many options of them. Like, the concept of the False Hydras. Oh, it's chef's kiss, man. Utterly chef's kiss. I mean, what more can you want? A creature that can sing a song and make you forget it exists, and then kill people, you forget they exist. Only to slowly pick up... Oh, it's so fucking... It's Lovecraftian in a way that just fits so nicely. And it's just so disturbing. Honestly, I fucking love the False Hydra. I've never used one in my own campaigns, but... God, finding a way, especially when the players don't have an idea what it is. I can see why V Magnum Opus though, because there's nothing more satisfying to me than having a mystery that worked. Oh yeah, exactly. You leave just enough for them to think, what the fuck is that? And then, yeah. No, that sounds amazing. So it only works exactly once they know what they're looking for. Yeah, I think there's a few things maybe to alternate. You can like change up how you do the clues, but as you say, once you've done the false Hydra, you gotta find something else to like fool them. It's the risky thing. It's like there's a few times where I've run something I thought I'll probably never be able to pull that off with these guys again for a long time. Plus, I think the guys are a bit paranoid when I'm DMing because I'm a very I like to surprise them with things. I might mention horrifying to them to keep them on edge, and then something far more horrifying is just around the corner. But I don't know. I think if anything, a false alarm is a good way of throwing them off. That's probably how I would try it. If I was going to use it ever again, I'd probably try and do like a false alarm and make them think, hang on, there's a false Hydra. Nah, it's not. And then they're just like, oh, okay. Turns out it is a false Hydra. It's just, you've made, essentially, the creature's faked itself not being there. You know, the classic, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled. That's probably what I'd try and do myself. False flag it. Only for it to be legitimately that. But again, that's not easy to do. I think it depends how long your players have, like, you've had your players for as well, because I think the longer you have them, the more they figure out your DM style. So they know kind of like, something weird's going to happen now. That's why I try and mix up every so often, because otherwise, like, you did this last time, or a few times ago. So I remember some tease like that. But it definitely works best the first time when they're completely raw and unaware that you've even got that plan in your back pocket. 100% agree with you there. Thankfully, Dark Heresy leaves me with many options I can pull from obscure parts of the lore. Or even if I, invent a little bit my own shenanigans. I have an idea in mind which should give me plenty of room for experimentation. Though, this first act should be nice and reasonable, by my standards anyway. Many twists and turns, and hopefully a good bit of horror. Just to spice things up a bit. It's okay, there's going to be a little bit of information you'll get before going onto the ship. Whether it's accurate, you don't know. You're dealing with information from an empire that is a shell of its former self and still uses bloody paper to store information. Which is great and all if the Empire wasn't like 2/3 of the galaxy. And the only way they can do long-range information traveling is by hand or by astropath, which can have delays and all kinds of bullshit. So, plus you're going onto a ship, and ships in the 41st millennium are the size of multiple football fields, up and down, and are vast. Some ships even have like their own little communities that live and die on the ship. There is an origin in Dark Heresy called Voidborn, where you're just born in a ship, and you've lived a lot of your life on a ship. That's a thing you can have. And that is completely a thing you can have. So, there'll be lots of nice twists and turns, I think. I've got a couple of ideas I've got a reasonable few, but don't worry, you'll be just fine. Well, until you're not, but I'll at least make sure the first session no one dies. No bets on the second going forward, though. No. But I think, as I say, session 0 will mostly just be character creation and any questions anyone has or anything people be interested in seeing. The first session things will happen will be session 1, which will be live. And no one will die in session 1. No one. No one will. But then, it'd be fine. I've never killed some... Well, I almost killed people from the first session once, but it's fine. You're not going to die this time. Hopefully. It's fine, as long as you don't do something crazy like, hey, can I jump out an airlock? Without my suit on? Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. Oh, wait, shit. Oh no. Yeah, as long as you don't do anything crazy like that, you should be fine. I mean, there's a few other things that could happen as well, but, you know, let's say, hypothetically, you find an airlock and decide, what if I open it? Assuming it still works. I mean, that ship's been in the warp for who knows how long. You don't even know if the Gellerfields still work on that thing. I mean, it's just come out of the warp, so I mean, what are the chances it's going to move again anytime soon? It may have been just on its last voyage. Might not have any thrust at all. Just best hope the warp drive's disabled. But no, don't worry. Your time on the Cronus Nox will be a fun adventure, with merriment and joy. It won't at all be a horror fest, with the potential for more horror depending on what decisions you guys make. I definitely have not already statted out some of those horrifying things. No, not at all. No. It's going to be a nice, chill time. Although, the information I've given some of my players already has terrified them enough, but don't worry, you'll get the same bit of... I'll probably post the info on that part of the server. So, I'll say it'll be just you guys with access to it for now. And then I'll set up like a chat room there. I'll say, you guys are my mod, of course, so I'll have access to that. And then, yeah, I'll let the chat room there and stuff, and I'll figure out stuff. I'm probably going to see if I can't throw together a nice little overlay for it. Or something. I'll figure something out for it. Worst case scenario, I use my gaming overlay and I'll just use that, but we'll see. I want to make certain that the sort of... I probably want to make sure that the dice rolls are visible, so that anyone watching can see like what you guys roll. I'll make sure that's all looking good as well. Oh, the other thing as well is you'll probably want to make sure you take notes, and a good thing about the character sheet in Dark Heresy, in Roll20 anyway, is it has a section for like a diary section where you can keep notes. Also, if you gain any NPC followers, there's a section for NPCs on the sheet, so you can have your followers listed there too, which is very nice. Also quite good for me as a DM, because I can, if I need to list like variants of an enemy or an NPC, I can put them there. But you won't be having any NPCs anytime soon, I'd have thought. I mean, probably not the first act, but maybe the second. You have to spend influence to get... I think you have to permanently burn some influence to get someone on side. And depending on who or what, it can be a fair bit. But you can recruit a variety of things, actually. You can recruit anything from a Imperial Assassin, which narratively you'd probably, in that instance, because the game assumes you work for the Inquisition. You can definitely run it where you don't, but normally the game assumes, for Dark Heresy anyway, that you work for the Inquisition, which is why you might have access to like Imperial Assassins. Normally, the High Lords get involved to sign them off, so that's a pretty big deal. But Grey Knights are an option for a lot of influence. Deathwatch Space Marines, again, a lot of influence. But also, like, alien mercenaries. You can have an Orc freebooter as a mercenary you pay for, or a Slith, or a Kroot, I think. I think Kroots were on them, yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, those are all things. I think you can also recruit an Eldar Ranger, if I'm not mistaken. I think those legitimately are recruitable. There's actually a lot of Eldar statted, actually. Although annoyingly not as many things are statted as I'd like, but I can easily figure stuff out. Though, in some regards it makes sense, because you as a, like, inquisitorial acolyte are probably not going to be facing some of the most... well, not all of the most horrific things in the universe, because some things are just... even a group of you wouldn't be able to handle. Although there are stats for greater demons, I believe. So, you technically could face very powerful demonic entities. Demon Princes included, by the way. They're interesting because you can kind of really build them as a nemesis, essentially. But don't you worry. If there's something missing in the book that I need to stat out, I will figure out a way to stat it out. There's also like obscure stuff, right? There's little obscure little bits. Be it a particular Imperium faction, or like Dark Mechanicus, for example. There's like stuff for them in there, which is very rare to see. Eldar Corsairs, there's some Gene Stealers, though it's not listed as a Gene Stealer, but it's a Gene Stealer. Just, they don't know what it actually is. It's called like the Beast of something. It's like, oh, that's just a Gene Stealer, but don't worry, I've looked at its stats and it's insane. You're not fighting that, Timothy. No, because it would literally one-shot you. Unironically. It would probably one-shot you, which wouldn't be any fun, so don't worry about that. Thankfully, the Cronus Nox is not a Space Hulk, so the chances of it being infested with Gene Stealers are pretty low. Not impossible, but pretty low. Because even Space Marines fear them fuckers. I did a one-shot, well, a brief little one-shot test for the Deathwatch system, which is different to Dark Heresy, because it's a bit older. Well, Dark Heresy 2E. Dark Heresy 1E works a bit more like Deathwatch, but 2E is a bit different. It's a bit more grounded. Well, grounded for Warhammer, anyway. 1E, you can kind of become silly overpowered very quickly. 2E is a little bit more... You can definitely become very powerful, but it takes a bit of time. But, to give you an example, I had a Tech Priest character who I eventually got to the point where I couldn't fail a Medicae test unless they were really fucked. Like, we're talking multiple limb dismemberments and organ failures. I could probably... I was at the point where I could basically save most people from dying. Yeah, you can get pretty good at, like, certain skills if you specialize. I had, like, multiple things helping my medical rolls. So, I was very good at med rolls, to put it that way. They let you heal a little bit, but also they can help you with critical injuries too. You also use Medicae for, like, cybernetic stuff. Hey, Vinyl. So, you check it in there. Bro, my Twitch app's dying. Oh, is it? Shit. I am on YouTube as well, Vinyl, if you are struggling with Twitch side. But, damn, I mean, I've heard a few mixed things with the Twitch app. It hasn't let me send messages like 20 minutes. Hasn't it? Oh, shit. That's weird. That's real weird, that is. Well, so I'm getting your messages now, at least. Anyway, I have a question I've been dying to ask. Go on, buddy. What's your dying question? What's your burning question? waiting with bated breath. Hopefully it lets him send the question. That'd be really awkward if he types that and then Twitch app just goes, nah, you can't send. Oh. Why are freebooters called freebooters if they aren't free? A very good question. My best guess is because they're not like in a tribe, I'm guessing is the logic, but no, they're not free. It's real serious. No, they cost a lot of teeth. They cost a lot of teeth. It's why Dark Heresy uses influence, because you couldn't give an orc actual money. I forget which... There's an orc tribe who specifically grows more teeth, so the other tribes bully them by beating the fuck out of them to get their teeth. Maybe the booters they wear on free instead. Maybe, I mean, they probably didn't pay for them, Vinyl, I'll be honest. Freebooters are pirates, after all. They probably didn't pay for them. They definitely took them. If there's one thing freebooters like to do, it's looting. Looting and shooting. Also, like, to preface with freebooters, they're normally too extreme for their own group. Like, they might be a speed freak who's too much of a freak for his own fucking tribe of speed freaks. Or like the Snazgits, they are too crazy for normal orcs because they stick too many guns on their gun while they gun. Yes, the orcs have a thing called too much. Yeah. It's just that, you know, freebooters for some reason decide, why don't we put little pirate hats on our head? Just because they can. It's just orcs. They're a beautiful thing in 40k. A very beautiful thing. Horrifying in many respects, but they're a wonderful thing. Doesn't sound freaky, fucking hell. Yeah, speed freaks are fucking freaky. I think they released like a Speed Freak game recently, didn't they? I think. If memory serves. Ads. Ah, yes. Yes, you weren't here earlier for the delicious 10 gift that I sent out. May have missed the wave. So that reminds me, at some point I need to get myself a fucking the eye bulging emote. I fucking love that thing. That's an emote I need to remind myself to get at some point. A bulging eye one. On the list. I've still got plenty left in the non-animated slots anyway. Ow. Crack my... Everything? Huh. Yes. I think with Devil that would be... Let me think. How many would be beyond that? So, Onyx, Moss, Mute maybe, we'll see. And Devil, so that would be 4, maybe 3, we'll see. Hey, there we are. You're released from the ads. So right, I was just working out how many players I've got now. So potentially 4, maybe 3, we'll see if Mute's feeling up to it. Good. Good. 4's, yeah, 4's what I was looking for. 4's optimal. 5's like, I could do it at a push, but 4's better. Hey, maybe freebooters saw that one anti-piracy ad. Oh yeah, you wouldn't steal a car inside anti-piracy school. You wouldn't steal a car, as Oggy would. You wouldn't steal a Dakar, would you? Aye. Fuck you would. You wouldn't steal teeth, would you? The orcs would definitely steal teeth. Like I say, there's a tribe that grows more teeth than anyone else. They specifically beat the fuck out of their teeth. Steal rock. You wouldn't steal a spaceship, would you, Mr. Orc? proceeds to steal the spaceship and loot it. I mean, we're all about a race who looks at an asteroid and thinks, what if I put boosters on it and guns on it and launch at them? Yeah. Also, all their ships look like piranhas for some reason. It's a weird little thing. Like orc-faced piranhas. It's kind of like how a lot of their ships look. Then again, the front of their ship's also reinforced because they ram a lot. I wouldn't say orc naval doctrine's very advanced. It is quite honestly ram, who doesn't look at an asteroid and says, yes, gun. Well, the orcs do one better. They look at a space hulk and think, if we clear it out, loot it, put more guns on it, fix the engines, fix the warp drive, big ship. They do that quite often. It's terrifying. If you know how big a Space Hulk is, you understand why that's fucking terrifying. Especially with how the fact there's so many different mangled bits of ship in that thing and how it works. Orcs are crazy, man. I mean, we're all about the race who accidentally used a... Well, they have a car that briefly enters the warp. The Snaz... Was it Snazgun Dragster or Snaz Dragster? Something like that? It basically... It's a drag car that goes into the warp briefly. And an orc... 2 orcs and a squig hopped onto one, drove it at a titan, warped, managed to bypass its void shields, which is very lucky, by the way. There was a very real chance they warped straight into the shields, and those shields would have atomized them. And then managed to get into the Titan, kill the pilot, and threw a grenade down its fucking hatch to just fucking kill everyone else when I get in. Now, they would have taken the Titan had the Orc Gargant present not been levitating a fucking Warhound Titan and yeeted it at the Titan in question they were in. Yes. Yes, this they do. Also, the Orcs have built a Death Star. That's the thing they've done. As of the Necrons, actually, the Necrons had a world-sized vessel as well, which you shouldn't be too surprised. The Necrons are crazy powerful. But the Orcs have made a war moon, I think. If enough Orcs get together, some of their mech boys will do crazy shit, like make a moon-sized vessel out of a moon. So they have made an Orc Death Star. That has happened. Also, yes, they have a gun which can shoot, like, I think typically they send grots through, but I don't see why they couldn't. Well, they could do a squig. Squigs are just as dangerous to the Orcs as they are to you and me. I assure you. The squig does not care. Its mouth will bite. But, yes, I forget the name of the gun, but yeah, it can just, yoop, straight through. Virgin Emo robots are Chad funny, guys. Funny you should mention that. It's what the Orcs were made for. Although they were called the Krorks back then, and they were a lot smarter and bigger. Imagine the Orcs we have now, but they were a lot smarter. And they were all like Ghazghkull sized. It's kind of concerning. They've kind of devolved a bit. But if enough Orcs gather together, we get an issue. Like the Beast, who sent Orc diplomats requesting the Imperium's surrender. Yes, Orc diplomats, that was a thing. The Orcs is already smarter. I mean, they can always be smarter. The thing is, right, they can go from savage, like, stone-beating lunatics to, alright boys, I've made a ship, we're going into the stars now. In, like, a few decades. They can do that. They can go from savage tribal lunatics to, okay boys, time to go, and just get on a ship and fuck off to space. That is legit something they can do. And have done many times. Hell, if you don't... Oh yeah, I mean, they were made as a weapon. The old ones made them as a weapon to fight the Necrons. And the thing is, with the Orcs, you have to understand is, if you kill an Orc, they burst into spores. Those spores then regrow. So you have to burn the land you've been killing them on to stop them regrowing. And I mean, like, burn it. Half the reason the Warhound Titan has a Titan-class flamethrower is because of the orcs. Because burning them is the only option you've got to stop the spore spreading. Obviously, there's the Gretchen, but, like, they're not a threat. Not without huge numbers. But if you played Space Marine 1, you remember the Gretchen, they're not a threat. Even to normal humans, but, like, they're really not a threat. They can build some interesting toys, though, which can become kinda terrifying. Though quite often the orcs will also use them as ammunition. But sometimes the Gretchen will get together, they'll make a tank, or they'll make a moving fortress, as like a battleship on wheels. Sometimes they'll do that. Just because why not? Or you might get a squig that grows really big. Gladius, yes, I have. I have played Gladius. A long time ago now, since I've played it, but yes, I have played Gladius. That's the Civ one, isn't it? We have like the 4X. That's the 4X game, isn't it? If I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, it sounds like the one. Yeah, I've played that one a bit. It's okay. It's been on sale super cheap, so everything's... Ah, yes, good point. I remember it being okay. It's definitely not as nuanced as some other games like it. Every DLC. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's not as nuanced as, like, Civ. Like, you've got no diplomacy. Not even as the Tau, which the Tau definitely would try diplomacy. Hell, the Imperium might sometimes. Tyranids, I get, they wouldn't. They just wouldn't. Orcs, depending on anything they want. Chaos might, but I prefer Civ over it. This is fine, but to be honest, I've turned map generation. That's fair. The map generation can be a bit funny. You also only get air at the end of the game, and there's no navy. Yeah, which I mean, they don't highlight naval like when I say naval elements, I mean, like, you know, terrestrial naval elements, because annoyingly, this is when we get to sci-fi terminology. There's the Navy, and then there's the Navy. There's the Sea Navy, and then there's the Space Navy. But yeah, there's no like Sea Navy, which they do have. Oh yeah, the combat's alright, honestly. I agree with you there. And you've got like characters that you can give abilities to, it's alright for that respect. Like, they do have Sea Navy, which is the thing. I was doing a bit of research into one of the wars, the Sabbath World Crusade in particular, and there's a whole bit where they're doing sorties, and they do have like aircraft carriers. Obviously, they're probably a bit different to what we have nowadays, but they do have aircraft carriers in some worlds. I mean, that's why Space Marines. Why Space? I mean, yeah. Space Marine, exactly. Space Marines. Although, yeah, it's a weird one with them, because I mean, they operate like Marines in some respects, but then also they really, really don't. I mean, they have like their own ships and shit. I think you play as pretty much every 40k faction. That's got a lot of content too, which means, oh yeah, you get like everything, man. Admech, Tau, Craftworld Eldar. I don't know if there's. I think Dark Eldar in the game. Obviously the Orcs. I think Orcs, Space Marines, Guardsmen, and Necrons were the first ones. Chaos is in it now. Yeah, it's always funny when you talk about sci-fi though, and it's like, yes, there's the Navy, but what if there's like ships on the planet, like on water? So, okay. Oh yeah, there's Nids. Yep, Nids are in too. I'm trying to think if anyone's missing. Are Sisters of Battle in the game? I think they are. if they're in it, then that's probably everyone. I guess the only faction that might be missing, I mean, Knights is in the AdMech. Okay, so Sisters are in. Yeah, you can get Knights as AdMech. Technically, you should be able to as Chaos as well. Chaos Knights are fun and horrifying. They're basically created demons, and to be honest, they're statted probably even more terrifyingly. There's probably not the individual Chaos Legions, but there's not enough of a roster for them to justify it anyway. Also, the Emperor's Children haven't been released yet to 40k. They're coming, though. I don't know if you guys have seen Fulgrim, but they've just shown off Fulgrim. He's looking hella nice. So getting Emperor's Children, but they aren't in Gladius. Nor would the Death Guard Thousand Sons of World Eaters be. They might be a single unit. I think Gladius is added Prime. Oh, they weren't in before. Okay, so they added Primaris. So maybe they'll add like some new units for Chaos as well, potentially. That's interesting now. Is it just the Marines, or is it like some of their vehicles? Because they've got like grav vehicles and stuff. And they make a big use of grav vehicles again, which is the whole thing. The only other faction I can see them not doing is the Talons of the Emperor or Adeptus Custodes. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, they've made it now so Primaris can actually use the older vehicles, so like you can still use a Rhino or a bloody Land Raider, which is good, because like Land Raiders are still good. I don't know why they had this whole brief moment where like, oh, you can't use a Land Raider. Like, you can fit Terminators and that things. Primaris are not that big. And from what I understand, your Terminators could just be Primaris Marines. Like, Crawl couldn't make the armor any better, so it can fit normal Marines and Primaris. So that's a good little nod. Especially as the older Marines would definitely be veterans at this point. Unless you're the Lamenters. R.I.P. the Lamenters. Yeah, I think they've got like Bane Blades and shit and all that in that game as well. They've got a good roster, honestly. As I say, like, Custodes probably won't be in the game because they're just too powerful. Not enough units, and they're insane. Like, a squad of 10 Custodians can realistically fight an Imperial Knight and maybe have a chance of winning, which is insane to me. A squad of Custodians can also kill a lot of things. They're insanely strong. Also helps their armors, like, really... Oh yeah, they're cool. They are so cool. But the problem is they're too cool. They're too cool for most things. Like, remember that Helldrake in Space Marine 2? And we had to use a holy fucking relic to hurt it. Because our weapons just almost did nothing to it. When it, like, covered itself. And they were like, oh yeah, its armor's as hard as Oromite. Custodes wear Oromite. Yeah, Oromite is a naturally gold metal found under the Imperial Palace that Custodes wear. Well, funny you should mention Guardsmen, Vinyl, because there's actually a very rarely mentioned unit in the Talons of the Emperor who work to guard the Emperor, called the Lucifer Blacks. The Lucifer Blacks are the objectively strongest, most well-trained, most well-equipped, non-augmented humans. They're not Space Marines, they're not Custodes, they're not even Sisters of Silence. They are unaugmented soldiers, given the fucking best gear a normal human can have. They wear all black and like a visored helmet, they look cool as fuck. They very rarely come up, but they guard the Imperial Palace, and they're like the most elite non-augmented force you're gonna get. After that, you got like the Scions and shit. But I thought they could take that. Now that is a good question. Slime Arbo is quite an exceptional soldier. Now, he's not invincible, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they could probably give him a good run for his money if they couldn't beat him. But Slime Arbo's... that man's built different. That man might be a perpetual, is the thing with him. he might just be a perpetual, which means he can't actually die. Like, if you kill him, he'll come back. Like, that's a thing with Slime Arbo you have to watch. There's a lot of evidence that suggests that man ain't a normal human. Which, considering the feats he's performed, yeah, maybe they could give him a good... Maybe. Maybe they could. Like I say, the man's built diff. He is built diff, that man is. To be fair, I speaking of Slime Arbo, they've recently redone the Death Corps of Krieg. I'm kind of hoping the Katshan Jungle Fighters, what's it, Dungle Fighters? Jungle Fighters get a redo as well, because their current models look terrible, but Slime Arbo actually had an update a while back, and it looks great. Like, to be fair, that would legit if Gladius gets more alt factions, Death Corps, Kaschans. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, Death Corps, if they wanted to do, like, skins or alt factions, Death Corps would be fun. The thing with the Death Corps that makes them interesting is, one, they are borderline suicidal in their, like, devotion to the job, but also they are so well trusted, they are actually allowed to field full regiments with all of the resources at their disposal. Basically, most Guards regiments do not have everything they need. For example, a infantry fighting force will not have artillery attached to them or armour. The reason is because if that regiment turns traitor, the armour or artillery may need to take them out. And the Air Force is the purview of the Imperial Navy rather than the Guard, so Navy gets to call that in. Death Corps get all of it because they've never turned traitor. Or at least, if they have, never been reported. Put it this way. A commissar in any other regiment is there to stop cowardice and, you know, dissidents. In the Death Corps, a commissar is there to be a leash holder. They are there to stop the Kriegers from killing themselves too quickly. That is legitimately what a commissar does for the Krieg. It's why their command squad actually has a commissar on station. Because of that. Like, they need to restrain them. It's a weird role reversal. Although, ironically, commissars also behave differently with Ogryns. Because Ogryns have the minds of children. It's just, if that child throws a tantrum, that's a living tank running at you. It's why in Darktide it's interesting that the Ogryn you play as is a bonehead. And he mentioned specifically the contraption in his head. Basically, they figured out a way to make Ogryns not quite as stupid, but it takes operations. Oh yeah, the Ogryns are cool. It's just a shame that they require, like, invasive surgery for them to be able to think straight. Otherwise, like, our Ogryn in Darktide wouldn't be able to operate. Like, you know the Ripper guns they have? Most Ogryns, the Ripper guns are deliberately limited to burst fire or single shot fire because the Ogryn would be dumb enough to fire the entire clip in a single pull. Ogryns would do that. They would just fire it and then not know how to reload it, in many cases. So to conserve ammo, they deliberately limit it. However, a bonehead is aware of the override for that, because they're smart enough to understand that. There's also Bolgryns, which is their own thing. They're a bit smarter and normally get big old boarding shields and shit, and bits of Lehman Russ battle plate slapped to their armour. But again, they're not... Ogryns are a weird one, because they're not part of a regiment, technically. They are considered auxilia. Basically, the mutants typically aren't under the usual regiment structure, because they're mutants, basically. Ogryns are allowed to exist because they're super effective fighting machines, Ratlings are allowed to exist because they are really good shots and sneaky bastards, despite all the issues they tend to cause. Ogryns are at least too dumb to cause problems most of the time. You normally have to corral them into things. For example, sometimes they'll get a bit freaked out about being in a chimera because it's a bit tight. Yeah, some Ogryns have claustrophobia. That's legit a problem some Ogryns have. Whereas Ratlings, they keep stealing shit. Ah, no worries, man. No problem at all. Thank you for being here, Chief. Thank you for being here. Ugh. I have to check if have I charged my phone? That was my own phone. Yeah, I remembered last night I did not charge it. There you go, I didn't charge my headset last night, which was a pain in the ass when I forget to do that. It's like I had one job, and I forgot to do it. Doesn't take long to charge, but like, I swear, it feels like forever. It feels like absolutely forever to charge the damn thing. But it's charged enough for this, which is what was important. I was a bit worried because, of course, just my luck, I'd put off a Windows update till literally the night before. Because I never like doing them, because, like, sometimes they reset your bloody audio sources, or they'll do things like they'll enable an audio input, so your mic just suddenly starts switching to that mid-stream. Very annoying. Very annoying. Thank you, Microsoft. But, you know, thankfully, when I tested it this morning, it's fine. Of course, as my dumbass been like, oh yeah, I'll try multi-stream everywhere. So far, I'm happy to say that it's been okay. Let me just look at what my task manager's like as well, because you never know. Oh no, it's behaving quite nicely. Not more than what I expected. Good. Good. Always gotta check these things every so often, because you know it's like, you do anything fucking live, it's like, ah, yes, it's time for shenanigans. And I was expecting some shenanigans, ahoy. But thankfully, I'm happy to say that so far, it's worked like a charm. Let me just check. Anything? Oh, yep, sounds good on YouTube. For a second I was like, is the YouTube getting the sound? Yes, they are. Yeah, as I say, I need to... The only thing I didn't do was do the alerts for YouTube. It's fine. As I said earlier, I need to actually probably commission a few of those anyway. I definitely don't have all the various YouTube MacGuffins. I don't know if I even have them enabled, because I'm not, like, partnered with YouTube yet. It's a lot harder to get that with YouTube than Twitch. And that's saying something. It took me 6 months for Twitch. But YouTube's funnier like that. But, hey. Now I'm going to be using it more. It'll be possible that I can make sure that it's good quality on both platforms. YouTube still... Yes, it does. Even when you're not, like, partnered, which is very interesting. Exactly. It's like, ah yes, we're going to run ads for you. Do I get money? No. No, you don't. Which is kind of crazy when you consider, like... a good example, like, Dokibird, right? She came back and had a ridiculously big stream that first come out, but she wasn't partnered then. So didn't get a penny from that one. I'm like, god damn, YouTube. You just got like one of the biggest VTuber streams I've ever seen from an indie. And they didn't get a penny from that because they weren't partnered. I think they were partnered by the next stream because, yeah, the numbers were there, but, you know... Although I think you have to stream, I think you have to like do so many hours of video before like they'll let you. You gotta get that watch time in. But I mean, I get it. Like obviously, a platform doesn't want to like immediately award someone partner in case they were potting. But you know, I've seen some people migrate from one platform to another and just come in with a big old audience. Though I wouldn't imagine those people have to wait very long for their little message to say, "Yep, you're in." It's fine. We'll get there eventually with YouTube. Also, the VOD channel, the live channel, is slowly growing. So, and now it'll be more active. So hopefully, if any of you peeps prefer YouTube over Twitch, then hey, you got a place there. That was my main thing. I was like, well, what if people aren't a big Twitch fan? Because some people don't like Twitch. I was like, well, shit. Twitter, it does alright. It does alright. But I figured, set YouTube up as well. It also means I don't have to do the VOD thing as well, which is nice. I can just have the VOD there on the YouTube side. So it means I can be a bit lazy post-stream. Which, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I like to be a little lazy post-stream, so not having to do something very nice. And I have to go, right, me export it, da-da-da-da-da. No, I can just go live on both. And then keep the VOD forever on YouTube. I mean, it's one on Twitch, stayed around for a while, but you know, you never like deleting VODs unless you have to, so I've got a place for it now, seamlessly live. I mean, I say like the export process is that bad, it really isn't. However, it means I don't have to worry about it anymore. I mean, it's going fine now, but I figured, right, a just chatting stream, it will work. Tomorrow's the real test. Because Total War takes a bit more resource. Vermintide 2 might also, but I'm not sure. The only thing with Vermintide, obviously, is the integration only works on Twitch. So, but I'll go over all that on the day of the stream, because I of course like to play with Twitch integration, because it's funny, and plus I'm sure you guys enjoy the idea that you can cause me utter chicanery. That'll be on Saturday, that will. God, it's only Thursday, which, you know what, I'm kind of glad. I don't want it to go too quickly, because this time next week I'll have to be back in work, which will suck. Will utterly suck. The good old day job. Did not missed it. Not missed it at all. The joys of working IT. But you know what? It has given me knowledge which has helped doing this. Because when you're used to fixing other people's computer problems, you tend to get pretty good at fixing your own. You'd like to hope, anyway. I mean, obviously I don't quite deal with the same kind of things, but, you know, you figure shit out. It's more like the mindset, right, of how to figure out a problem, but also knowing what the issue is. I've had some weird problems now and then, but thankfully, you know, my computer knowledge has allowed me to fix shenanigans. It's the funny thing with doing this, you kind of have to become a little technical. Which, I mean, wasn't an issue for me, because I already was technical, but it's always an interesting bit where I'm like, I can tell someone isn't normally technical, but they've kind of had to become that way to do this, which is fair enough. You kind of need to have a little bit of that know-how. Because things can go funny while you're live, right? You might have your mic decide, nah, I'm not going to do things. Obviously, with VTubing, there's an entire other angle, because what's that? You think having a camera's bad enough? No, your ass is trying hard mode. You need to have some kind of tracking, software, and all the other shit. The joys and shenanigans of being a tuber. A virtual tuber. Don't get me wrong, stuff can happen being a flesh streamer too, by the way. Like, you know, shit can happen while you're live. You're adding more stuff. It's why I was a bit... Like, I could have had a VBridger with this model, but I didn't have it set for VBridger because I was a bit worried that could cause other issues. But I may look into VBridger down the road if I, you know, should I ever get another model. I may do VBridger for that if I can, but I was a bit worried at the time. I was like, well, what if something goes wrong? Yeah, I mean, how is VBridger, by the way, Devil? I know you use it quite a bit, actually, don't you? For yours. But I'm curious how it is, because I know I was a bit worried, because it was like another thing I had to run. So I was a bit concerned whether it caused me issues, or whether it'd be, like, difficult to run. I imagine it isn't. I guess I was worried I'd like up my like computer a bunch to make sure it worked with everything. Because I know when I went to Live 2D initially, I had a few like hiccups I had to try and address at the time. And then obviously when I upgraded my model, then, you know, shit got a bit more whack. Pretty nice. It takes a load off. What is it? Ah, that's good. Okay. I'll have to give it a nose. I mean, I know they say like it can do a world of wonders for you. Especially if the model's set up for it. I may have to look into it. Like, I know it's made by, I forget the name of the person now, but they stream sometimes. So I'm wrong. They stream make models, which is the kind of person you want to make like that kind of software. And it works with VTube Studio, I'm aware, which is good. And I've seen the results. The results do seem pretty good. So I can see the benefits, definitely. I mean, it's good to hear the phone does a lot of the work, so again, I may look into it. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that because it adds a lot more facial like movement and stuff. Like you can puff your cheeks or like all that kind of fancy stuff. You can do a lot of what the fancier tubers do, which is pretty cool. It's kind of, I guess it's weird to me, like, when you see, like, someone with, like, all this advanced tracking stuff, it's like, oh, is that what it is? Like, yeah, it's just that. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Obviously, it depends how good the rigging's done, right? I mean, this model's rigged very nicely. It's not rigged for V-Bridger by default, but you never know. Never know down the road. But I will definitely say, like, to anyone looking at VTubing, you don't need an iPhone initially if you want to use a webcam, but I will say the iPhone is a game changer. I noticed very immediately on my last model the difference. It was genuinely noticeable, the difference. I imagine V-Bridge is similar once you've got it all set up. Like, you've got a lot more tracking. Like, a thing to note, when I was using my webcam, I didn't have to move my mouth nearly as much because, like, for example, it wouldn't track when I frowned. It actually does track now when I stop smiling and, like, really contorting my mouth. Like, yeah, as you say, like, imagine V-Bridge is more like that. It's even more, like, tracking involved. Also, it helps a lot to use that iPhone when you have glasses. Like, I have glasses, so I was surprised how well the webcam did, but the iPhone helps a lot. Now, they say you can do it without lighting, but I'll be honest, get some kind of ring light or something, because it's a lot easier to do it that way. It really is. It's just a lot easier to do it that way, because if the camera can see you easier, it can pick up your mouth movements easier and do your face stuff. You can do it so, like, it listens for certain words as well to help with the mouth tracking. But again, I imagine V-Bridger makes that even better. As I say, it's something I'll probably have to look into, but I've seen Foxes, the lovely lady who made my model, make someone else's model using V-Bridger. I did notice quite the accuracy of it, which was impressive, I will say. It was very impressive. But for now, I'm happy with my iPhone tracking, which does feel very nice. Thankfully, you don't need a very new iPhone. Like mine, I forget what iPhone this is, but it's not a very new one. But as long as it's got like the face tracking stuff. I think I just found whichever one everyone was recommending. I went with that one over whatever the newest one is, because the newest one's costs a lot. It's the only thing. Being a tuber costs a bit. Well, you can make some things cheaper, but like, I mean, if you want to go like budget, the Blob model is like 17 quid. And honestly, served me very well. Plus, it's always funny when you see someone's reaction when they go, show me your model, and you have a little smiley fucker there, and, like, melting. It's adorable. The blob is very adorable. I do recommend blob. Very customizable. I have said that at some point I may have to get a new bean. I'm getting a new model at some point. Oh, are you? Interesting, interesting. I imagine, have you been eyeing up various people to do it, I assume? I know when I was... admittedly, in my case, my original model, I looked around because I didn't want to spend too much. And then... But then I had Foxes pinned for a while because, like, when I'm ready, I'll commission it, and then I did. More definitely. Ah, okay. Yeah, already found a cool person. Nice, nice. Hopefully they aren't too busy so you won't have to wait too long. That's the one thing, like, I know with Foxes, I have an outfit that she's going to work on to add to my model, but she's very busy. It's a very busy artist, so it's going to be a while. Which is fine. I knew it'd be a while. But that's the only thing, I guess, like, they're very, very sought after. Anyone who can do the work. Oh yeah, I don't either. Oh yeah, believe me, like, I feel the same. The way I kind of see it is everything else waits on the model anyway. So if I need to change up assets, like when I did like my rebrand, I went and did like all this stuff ahead of time. Like, I already had a character sheet for my character, like for, my tuber, a while back, so I had that already there. So then I just gave that to various people and was like, this is what it will look like in the future. So I think as long as, like, and again, if you're not doing that, even better, you just wait for the model, which, hey, as soon as it's ready and you're happy it's ready to go, you get a little bit of debut on. You strut your stuff. So, no, 100% I agree with you there, Devil. Like, I always sort of see it, if I'm going to do anything related to the new model, I, just wait on the model first, because at the end of the day, that's always going to take the longest. Like, everything else is going to be done, most of the time, before the model. It is very rare that something's done after, unless, like, timing's worked out that way. Because it's just how it is, right? Like, you've got the amount of stuff goes into a model. Like, I've seen it a few times. Like, 'cause I watched a couple of people streaming doing art of new models and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, you're not surprised why, like, they're so sought after, but also why they're so busy. Because that shit takes time. The rigging process terrifies me. I've seen Foxes do a few rigs, and holy fuck. I would be so lost. Oh, yes. That's always really good. I often do the same. I often look for someone, if I was going to go with someone, I like to have both done. I imagine you have a similar mindset to me. I would rather have it all with one person, so that it can all be done by that person, and, you can just go to that person. There's no, okay, I've done the art, go to the rigger. But also, the good thing is that if anything needs to be changed, like, the person's the artist, they can go back and do anything they need to do if something doesn't work. And do you do it artist then rigger? I mean, a lot of people do, to be fair. A lot of even very big VTubers do that. So, nothing wrong with doing that way. A lot of the big ones do. I've seen a lot of big name artists who just do the art. Like, a good example, for, like, Cinder, for example. The Hellhound VTuber. You've probably seen her around. She's recently become an angel. I mean, she always was anyway, but that's simping side. Her artist is Nanoless, and Nano does the art. I don't believe she rigs. I didn't see anything about her rigging, but she just does the art. Though, what I would say is as well, like, there's like I've noticed it's definitely people who do like the art for models, the bigger streamers, they'll just do the art and oof, you pay for that quality. You pay for that quality. Like, goddamn, if I ever get big enough where I can afford justify that much for the model, holy shit. I mean, the model always costs the most, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This model you're looking at right now probably cost me about nearly $3,000. Wasn't far off $3,000 for this model. My original model was about 800, but I'll be honest, I think I was undercharged for that model. I think it depends who you go for, but it makes sense to me. Like, the art, I understand why the art definitely would cost a lot because of how the layers are done and how it needs to be riggable. But I see what you mean by the rig. Like, the rigging is definitely, like, looks like, in many ways, the harder of the two. Like, I think they're both a difficult thing, and I'm not remotely talented enough to do either. So, this is me as a layman, consumer of the wonderful work, not having a full understanding of the process entirely, but I've seen it enough. And the rigging definitely takes the most time, I've noticed. Like, a real big one, I know when I was watching Fox's rig, so she streams the stuff, like horns, for example. You've got to animate the horns moving and like twisting with the head and stuff. Like, I mean, for example, the feathers on my head, all that shit's gonna be rigged. The hair, you know, my eye movement, all that shit. So yeah, the rigging costs a bit. I guess it depends who you go with. Like, some of the artists who tend to only work on big name people tend to cost a lot, and I imagine the rigging can cost not far off. But I've looked at some of those kind of people, but I mostly stick to people who I can actually afford. But yeah, 100%, I feel if you can get the same person to do both, great. Although I know sometimes you'll get, like, they're different people, but the two get in touch, which is always good as well. Like, I've seen a lot of people have that, like, Kevin is his name, with his bouncy rig. I've seen a lot of people have them, like Mouse and that. I don't know, rigging is a complicated process, and definitely very time consuming, from what I've seen. Like, it looks amazing when it's done, but holy fuck, the process of it being done. Like, and that's without, like, any fancy animation work or anything else. I'm like, holy shit. Like, for example, my Halo. That's animated. The strands going up and down from it. Each one of them had to be animated. Just terrifying of a prospect. I mean, a good example, right? So they my arms like this. Obviously, the animation for the arms doing this has to be done. The arm then has to be re-rigged to be like this. And then obviously, you know, I can do all this, and it's like, yeah, I can understand. I understand why. I think the rigging stuff, I think it's one of them. I think it depends how you do your process. Like, I definitely think, I know I wouldn't be able to do it because I'm unorganized as fuck. But if you're someone who's organized and can do the art, then you can probably do all the layers. Because each bloody bit's going to be a layer. But as I say, I guess it depends who you go with, right? Some people, it's the art that's going to cost more. But I imagine, as you say, for a lot of people, it might be the rig. I've mostly, the two people I've had models off so far, both have been same person doing both. So I'm probably not the best judge for art versus rig cost. But I would imagine for a lot of the bigger indies, and maybe even, well, I'll say the bigger indies, because corporate, I've noticed, it really varies in the company, but they seem to invest a lot more into the art and less into the rig, for some models anyway. It really seems to vary, I've noticed. Like, some corporate, you can tell they invested in both. Some, it feels like it's a lot in the art, and then the rigging's a little more stiff. But then maybe that's just, you know, the same with the same people. They're very, like, you know, particular style they're after. Might be a deliberate choice, perhaps. Whereas indies tend to be a little bit more bouncy, a bit more like spring in an indie rig. Like. Something like I remember I've seen people point out and noticed. I don't think there's like a wrong way. I think as long as depends what you're going for, but personally I was like the smooth rig myself. Out of curiosity, Devil, are you looking to have any like particular changes do you think for your design? Or like, obviously mentioned more devilly. You're thinking like bigger horns, different kind of outfit kind of look. Some kind of colours you're thinking, or do you reckon that's changing too? If I may be so bold to ask. Obviously, you do not have to say. If you want to keep it all close to your chest until the big reveal, then by all means, don't let me pry the information out of you. But I am a nosy sod. I'm a nosy sod. I know Nyatia's had a bit of a palaver getting their model. I think have they got it now? Yeah, just make a devil's. Yeah, just make a devil's. Ah, okay. Okay. I'm looking forward to it, man. Very much looking forward to it. I always love seeing a new model. But yeah, no, do let us know when you do debut, though. Do feel free to shout up about that. I'll make sure to point people your way. So just keep a beady eye on Devil's channel, ladies and gents. You sinners may be in good standing with our dear Devil over here. Yeah, I remember. I don't know if Nyatia's had their model yet, but I remember they had a bit of a palaver trying to get their model. I think they've got it now. Hopefully they do. I haven't asked them actually in a while, but I think they've either got it or it's not far off. Though the art might be done for it. And then my boy Onyx has not streamed in a while, but he does. I think his model's done now. I think. Hopefully, I remember there was a little error with it originally, but I think it's all working nicely now. And my boy doesn't stream after he got his model. The bugger. It's okay. I do ask him occasionally if he's going to stream at some point. It's fine, he'll be a guest on mine in one way or another, so... yeah, but... He already uses it. Ah, nice. That's good. You know, no streams from Onyx. I know. Man's been very busy, to be fair. I think he commutes too much. Oh, his commute's insane. That's half the issue. His commute is insane. I couldn't do it, personally. Like, from where he commutes into the city, oh, it's such a long commute. Also very expensive for what it is. Like, if there's one thing I'll say about trains in the UK, they are shit. They are shit. Cost too much, and they're always late. Or just not running. Honestly. The worst. He can tell you all about that shit. They are the worst. But no, it's okay. We'll drag Onyx onto my stream at some point. And he'll be streaming by technicality as a guest. So we'll get him eventually, buddy. I'll kick him in streaming onto the platform. That's right. So I think once he's got in a position where he doesn't have to commute as much, he'll probably be back. I reckon. I mean, ironically enough, I remember when I'd started streaming before him and Mossad, and I was like, you could definitely stream. He's like, you sure? You could definitely do this. Like, I think he'll come. He'll come back. Like I say, he just needs to be in a position where you don't have to travel as much, because he's like got no time most of the time. At the minute, obviously, he's got Christmas shenanigans, because very big family, so I imagine the man is surrounded by many drunkards at this point. I say this as I sip of my own drink. If it was consistent, he was already... I've told him, man, consistency. Like, the thing is, he's got the right idea of it. Because the thing is, he enjoys playing Valorant, and Valorant's big. Valorant gets good views. And if you enjoy Valorant, Valorant gets good views. I am weird and niche, so I don't expect to get massive anytime soon. I play Total War, I play Vermintide, I play niche shit. My entire thing is very niche. So I don't expect to explode. Whereas he plays Valorant, which is big, and even when you're at like the middling tiers of Valorant, you're still going to have a lot of viewership because there's a lot of people wanting to watch Valorant. So you're 100% right. He definitely could. I think even he hopefully he realizes that. Like, I think genuinely, if he puts his mind to it, he could. Actually, Valorant for... That's fair. That's fair. I mean, like, I think for me, I have to be able to somewhat enjoy what I'm playing to be able to stream it, because otherwise I just wouldn't be able to. But definitely, like, people say, oh, do whatever you want. It's like, if you want to actually gain a following, the hot take is 100%. You want something to be your bread and butter, and like something like Valorant's a good bread and butter, because people will come for that, and that's what you want at the end of the day. Whereas, as you say, you have stuff on the side for yourself, which, hey, and that works. Also, I mean, yeah, and collabs, 100%, 100%. Started them recently. Honestly, I should try and do more. I should really try and do more myself. I mean, I did do a little bit of Marvel Rivals streaming. I might do a bit more of that. We'll see. I mean, I like playing Total War. That's kind of my bread and butter. But you're 100% right. The collabs help a lot. Like, they're just beneficial. They're always... Exactly. Exactly, and I think, like, I've heard people say, "Oh, we don't have to be always friends to collab," but I think it's you know if someone's not friends with someone when they're collabing. You can tell if they're not, like, and it's just, to me, I'd rather be on good terms with someone when I'm collabing with them, right? Like, you know, when I'm doing this Dark Heresy campaign, I'm almost streaming it, right? Like, I've invited people who I know I'm gonna have a good time with. Invited you, invited Mars, Mute, and Onyx, because I know you guys, I get along with you guys. I know it's gonna be a good time. Like, but I know what you mean. I am definitely guilty of not reaching out for collabs more. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, I met. Let me think. Ooh, why have I forgotten his name? Fuck, that's annoying. Let me just... for the life of me, I forgot the fella's name. But yeah, I met another streamer through doing Helldivers, or Little Club Helldivers. But no, I should do more. Definitely. Like, even, believe me, I'm aware even I can improve in that regard. My social anxiety makes that very difficult, however. However, karma, I definitely need to try and overcome it better. I mean, that is something I want to do in the new year, to be honest. Like, I play Total War a lot, sure, but I'd like to think I'm quite versatile. I can jump in other stuff. I mean, I do enjoy me some Marvel Rivals, which I'm more than happy to do. I mean, hey, if the TTRPG stuff works out nicely, never say never to more of that. I mean, I enjoy being a player quite a lot, but I do enjoy running games as well, so hey, never say never to a bit of that. That could always be fun. I need to do more YouTube. Oh, same. 100%. Genuinely, Devil, half the reason I'm live streaming to YouTube as well is to make up for the fact that I feel like I've been abusing the poor fuckers over there, not giving them as much as I should be. The VOD channel, well now live channel, is my bigger of the two, but I do need to do more edited content, 100%. I think I need to just decide what I want to do edited content-wise, and just stick with it. But I hate editing. My YouTube does so much better. Oh really? Shit, okay, man. I mean, I get that feeling though, where it's like you sort of want like your live streaming to do a bit better, but then like I say, the YouTube side. I mean, in a way, it's a good thing though, because if you have a consistent YouTube audience, that can help build your Twitch audience, because a portion of them may go, hey, I get to say hi to you live, and jump over. The other thing you might want to do, Devil, if you can, try multi-streaming to YouTube and Twitch, like, if you can, because then you can get your YouTube audience live with you while you're streaming, and then, you know, you can enjoy a bit of both. You can have your cake and eat it. But even video, it does 100%. I tore my fucking hair out doing a green screen effect. It was so annoying. I didn't like that. Shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm using Streamlabs to do mine, but it can depend a lot on factors, right? Like, if your bandwidth can take it. Like, I'm currently doing Twitch, Twitter, YouTube currently. I was really unsure how it would do as far as like stability. Thankfully, touch wood, it's been okay. But it, as you say, it could just decide nah and really not like it. I mean, I've had moments where it's done that. I've definitely had moments where it's done that. I used to do a bit more multi-streaming, but it shit the bed. So bad. I just sort of got put off. But then I changed a bunch of settings around and got it working. But then I just never tried it again because I got so put off. My setup and all the plugins and programs are mostly only for Twitch. Rebuilding everything to work for both. Oh, yeah. Again, because I'm using... I mean, in my case, I'm using Streamlabs, which has stuff for both. Or for a few things, really. But I get you, like... I've definitely considered, for example, upgrading my microphone to use an XLR, and have a little mini Go XLR with that, but I'm a little scared to like rebuild my audio setup in a way to work with that little mini Go XLR and all that stuff. So I had a similar bit of worry with that as an idea. But yeah, YouTube has a lot less like tech you can plug in. Like, you've got a little bit here and there, but Twitch has got so many more things, hasn't it? Like, you look at my own stream, I've got Tangier, I've got all these extra bits that YouTube just doesn't have. Which is a shame YouTube doesn't have that. Like, I'm looking at the YouTube live thing now. It's got some stuff, but like, I will definitely say in comparison to Twitch, it's inferior as far as like what it gives you from the creator standpoint. YouTube, in some regards, might be better from a viewer standpoint, because you can do things like rewind the stream mid-stream, which is pretty big. So if you miss something, you can actually go back and watch it, which is nice. YouTube has that capacity. So it does have some aspects like that. The cut is also better on YouTube. From like a business sense, the cut's better. It's like a 60-40 your way. Like, you get 60%, I think. Or is it 70-30? It's a lot better than Twitch's. Let's put it that way. It's a lot better than Twitch's. But as you say, you've got to like redo your setup for multi-streaming, and depending on how you do it, it's a pain in the ass. So, 100%. No, I agree with you there. It is an utter pain sometimes, but I think if you can, it's worth it for the longevity. Because, as you say, the YouTube side's doing a bit better. Definitely. I mean, I suppose, would it be a lot of hassle to do a YouTube stream like once a week or something? Possibly. That might help a little bit. Then you're doing a YouTube video whilst also, potentially getting some out of it, maybe. But I hear you on the video side point, though. On the video side, it's a pain. I know myself, I'm not very good at editing. Thumbnails are the one that get me, though. But, like, I've experimented a little bit with stuff. Like, I've got DaVinci Resolve, and I've got Vegas Pro for editing. But, God, I've torn my hair out trying to do some things sometimes. Like, I was trying to do a green screen a bit ago, and fuck me, that pissed me off so much. That pissed me off so much. But I think I do things Vegas, fair enough. See, I do mostly use Vegas because I like the end result. DaVinci, I don't like the end result as much. I like some of its tools a little better, but I don't like the 30 frame limit. Whereas Sony, not Sony, it's not owned by Sony, but Vegas actually like does 60 frames and HD. It looks better even after YouTube compression. And I wish I was better with it. There's definitely plugins and stuff I could add to maybe make green screening better, because once I get that sorted out, that makes things so much easier. Because at the minute, my only other option is to like have whatever I want behind me while I'm recording, and then do it that way. Unless I can figure out how to get green screen to working on Vegas, which I've tried. It's just I think I'm just not very good with it. So it's definitely a skill issue on my part. One I need to address, but that will take time. I mean, I've not made YouTube videos as much as I've made on streams, so I fully appreciate I have a lot more experience doing one than the other, so I need to get more experience doing the other, really. I definitely need to figure out my way around it better. Once I do figure that out, though, we're golden. But I need to actually give myself time to learn it. But I think that is half of the appeal of when you're an independent creator. Your audience gets to watch you grow and improve. Which, I mean, that's a charm that we get that the big times don't. In many respects. The scuff is half the appeal. As much as it might suck from our end. And brother, I hear you on that, because fucking hell. Like, I'm happy to say I've managed to unscuff a lot of my shit, but god did it take me a long time to get that sorted. And I'd still say my YouTube side's not there yet. It's okay, but it's definitely not there yet. I think I need to give myself a consistent, this is what I want to do, and then I can get the consistent, this is how we do that. But, no, I mean, something I heard suggested was to sort of pick out something and try and do one video a week. Like, just one. Though, I fully appreciate that ain't easy. God knows, most days I'm very tired and unmotivated to work on a video, and then the weekends are just busy. So, I know I have a rough idea myself. Like, I used to do, like, my retellings. I'm thinking of doing a similar thing for the tabletop stuff. So I'm thinking, like, basically I'll have obviously the VOD for the live play of it, but then I'll have like a retelling of what happened. Maybe I'll even grab one of you guys, my players, and we'll do a little sit down, pseudo interviewee type. How did you feel about shit? And talk about the session a bit. It's an idea. I don't know how good it'll be, but it's a little idea I had. How I'm going to edit all that and throw it together is a very different question. But I will figure something out. It's going to be scuff, but hey. Gotta refine that scuff until it is a nice gleaming something. Hopefully not a gleaming turd. Hopefully gleaming gold, but I don't know. This is the journey we are on, my friend. This is the journey we are on. And this is a long journey, so you might as well try and enjoy it. That's how I see it anyway. Might as well try and enjoy the damn thing. Oh, my neck. Ow, my neck. Holy shit. That's what I get for sitting in a funny position. Constantly. Right. I think, though, that will be me for now. As you know, my yap sessions are a little shorter on the stream side. But don't you worry, my dearest chat, for I will return to you tomorrow for a new Total War campaign. As yes, we're going to start with good old Gold Maneater. I have to be careful saying his name because I'm not sure how YouTube will take it. Thankfully, as I'm not monetized, I don't have to worry about demonetization. So that isn't an issue from that front. Hopefully that's the only issue, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll be launching that tomorrow. So if the idea of an ogre mercenary interests you as a campaign, then do hop on down. But until then, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed your gift subs. Anyone who received one? I do hope you'll be free from the ads for a time. At least until the 26th of next month, anyway. But until then, thank you very much, and I shall see you all next time. Until then, ta-ta for now.